but they're like taking human organs and shit, right?
That's what the Jude Law one is. Yeah,
He's got like a heart on loan, and then he like defaults on his loan, and they've come to repo it or something like that.
I hear people put their hearts up for collateral to pay for weddings nowadays.
Good thing mine's full of fucking pizza, so it's gonna be worth it. It's full of pepperonis.
Yeah, you're gonna love that heart. It's it's 99% pepperoni.
100% of a 33-year-old man who doesn't like exercise or eating well or salads or anything green, really.
All right, you guys want to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to... Oh, I'm kidding. Welcome to Dicks in the Back Row. I mean, hold my popcorn, everybody. I'm Tim Begin, and you guys guessed it. I'm hosting again. I mean, this is really going to tank our already, I'm sure, dwindling listener base. And
nothing like the consistency of putting out shows once every 3 to 4 weeks.
Indeed.
Yeah.
With
once every 3 to 4
with sporadic co-hosts and
sporadic
lead
co-hosts. Yeah. And a dyslexic a dyslexic actual host for this one.
Oh no.
I'm sure I'm going to be reading.
No, Tim, that's 2 dyslexics. How do you say it? I can't read it.
Dyslexic.
Dyslexic.
That's the one.
Exic dicks.
Exic dicks. So, we did Time Cop. And Team Cop. Mm-hmm. And it's a great Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. And I'm, joining me on this wild and wacky adventure with some Belgian cokehead is our stalwart, our leader, our captain, Bill Dooley, up in Portland, Maine.
What a surprise! A curveball there. Oh my god, I am a flush. Thank you, Tim. What a lovely introduction. Thanks for having me on again.
Oh, you're welcome, Bill. You're welcome. And
leader.
And rounding up our second in command, like firmly below Bill, but firmly above the other guy. A sandwich, if you will. A buddy sandwich. Okay? Mike Preble on the Cape.
Boo. Boo that guy. He has terrible acoustics. Oh, no, thank you, Tim. Thank you. Yes, I am still in Cape Cod somehow, and I'm, again,
still
I enjoyed
into
Time
the end
Cop.
of your phone.
Well said, Bill. Well said. Just delighted to talk about Time Cop.
Yes. Delighted to talk about Time Cop. Delighted that you paid $3.99 for the movie.
I thought viewing pleasure, pay-per-view.
Great
films.
We're getting into Time Cop
both.
at one point in this movie.
Yeah.
Time Cop.
Definitely saw an asshole in this movie.
Definitely. That was my favorite part of it. And rounding out the crew, the power bottom of the crew, the workhorse, the engine, the guy who is spreading monkeypox around the entire state of Tennessee, the guy who does absolutely no work on this podcast. He does nothing. Like, truly. I mean, what do you do? Max Healy.
That's right. I am the cardboard under the car in the garage. That is me.
Yes.
Keeping all that oil and condensation off of the pavement and onto a little small cardboard box that Preble then uses as shelter. That's me.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate you being in the captain's chair this week on short notice, Timmy, and very happy and looking forward to talking about the movie that is oddly the most historically accurate to the actual timeline that we're on right now in Time Cop.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That is fair.
Who would have thought?
With the white supremacist party.
Yep.
Being a real political party in 2004, which is obviously the far, far future. So,
in the pro-life, pro-death penalty coalition.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. The only really super far-fetched component of this was that you could buy a presidential election with $50 million.
Yeah,
that's 1994.
They were off on the
Grossly
inflation mark there. Yeah,
inflation's a thing.
Yeah.
1994.
Yeah, talk to Biden about that.
Thanks a lot, Biden.
So, what'd you guys think of the movie overall?
I loved it.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it was incredibly stupid. So stupid. But I mean, yeah, like there were parts where like were supposed to be serious or laugh out loud funny. But I mean, it's a good ride.
Yeah, exactly. This is a genre. I enjoyed it as much as I anticipated I would. It's a classic Jean Van. It's a Van Damme. He's just doing fucking splits and kicks, and no one's saying why. They make a vague reference to the fact he doesn't sound American.
Yep.
And then he's also just a DC cop who apparently has a shit ton of money, and he's bought himself a little Victorian just outside of town.
A fixer-upper.
A little fixer-upper.
Yeah.
Yep.
So sure. That sounds about right.
And he has just been recruited into a time travel police force and has that day, and it took him 0 time to become accustomed to that fact.
Indeed.
He's just like, yep, time travel police, I'm in.
Cool, let's do it. Yep.
Do you want to hear anything? I mean, it's kind of shocking that, time travel. It's like, nope, I'm good.
No,
you said time travel?
I'm in.
I believe you.
It didn't trouble this mind.
The only question, do I get to kick people and can I do splits? I'm in. Solid. So
that's it.
Doesn't
When
matter.
the time comes, yes.
And I want to be clear. I'm married to the girl from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Sign me up.
All right. I like this. I like this 1994 you're speaking of in 2004.
This movie,
Say what?
though,
She's also my Coke dealer?
I was going to say, this movie, this is like Van Damme at his peak and also his like peak cocaine use as well as this movie. He's checked in the rehab within a year after this movie came out. And
notice those nostrils changing a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, the director of this movie, it was the only person that visited him in rehab. Is what Van Damme said.
Oh no.
Yep.
Nice.
I gotta be honest. I haven't really seen a lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. I don't know if I've like what's this? Is it Bloodsport that he does? Where that's his movie. I think I saw that one like a long time ago. I don't think I've seen another one other than this. So the splits, the number of splits really took me by surprise. I knew it was a thing. Man, the way they pigeonhole those things in there, shocking.
Honestly, and this is a very small quota of splits as far as Van Damme movies go. I mean, what is it?
You typically get more?
Oh,
you usually get them like every 5 to 10 minutes on average.
Wow. I thought there's got to be at least 3 splits in this movie. I thought that was pretty high.
It's a couple of tropes. You're always going to get the splits. You're always going to see his bare ass. He's usually going to give like his weird little like, now it's like the white supremacy thumbs up thing. Like you'll usually give that, which I think he does. What else? Then just kind of vague English speaking as well.
Yeah. Just like there's always a reference to the fact that like, oh, you have a funny way of talking.
Yeah.
But they're never like, because you're from Belgium or because like you emigrated here. It's always just like, you talk funny.
Yep.
Anywho, let's go over here. It's like,
I'm French Canadian. I'm from Louisiana.
Yeah. Or he just says it.
Yep.
He just explains like, oh, I'm not from here because XYZ.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay.
I'll take it.
Is either no extension at all or it's just like straight to the top and then right back to the bottom.
We're
back.
I feel like somebody could have said to him at some point, you don't have to explain. People in the world have accents. It doesn't require explanation.
Why I'm from, it does.
But the problem is that it kind of like with him and Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's like it does because it's like half the time they're in the fucking CIA.
I know.
Just like
I know.
And their name's like John Anderson.
CIA. Yeah.
Mr. Walker.
Max Walker. He can't even say his name. Max Walker.
Max Walker.
I'm sure we'll get into it, but those are always like I love this movie for what it is, but then I also am like critiquing it around the edges. I'm like, that's not what this is. And I'll get this one out now. I want to be really clear. Assault doesn't mean someone hit you. It means that you are put in the imminent fear of a battery, which is when someone hits you. Because you'll hear in the movie, he's like, I was assaulted. You were not assaulted in your home. Someone hit you in the face.
But I saw the AA batteries.
And I said, and that's what they took down in my statement. So for my sake, assault and battery and assault are 2 different things.
Cool.
And they should be worked on.
Also, I do love how when they first like establish the rules of time travel in this world, they're like, you can't go forward. You can't go forward. I'm like, everyone's going forward in this. People are going back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a guy from the 2000s who comes back and then goes back. I mean, that's going like you just went forward in time.
It's true.
I mean,
I just
yeah.
yeah. He remember, it's like you keep meeting him and he keeps retaining the same information along the way. That's why like Jean-Claude is the only one who's apparently unaffected by the time travel.
I gotta be honest.
Because he remembers every conversation he has and not everybody else.
I finished this movie with like a page and a quarter of notes, and after the movie was over, I doubled that with just critique of what their thoughts on time travel would be, because it was a little frustrating, but like, I mean, whatever, it's time travel. There's always going to be quirks or whatever, but this was, I don't know about that. I will say I kind of did like Tim when they said that like time travel or time is like gravity and it pulls you back. It always, like, they don't have any trouble getting back to their present because it pulls them back like gravity. I'm like, all right, it's vague enough, but also
it sounds smart.
It sounds kind of cool. I'm good with it.
Yeah, first 5 minutes works. You're like, okay, like this, the fake Obama guy when he's talking, I'm like, all right, like this is not that dumb. And then you get like 20 minutes in, you're like, oh, this is real dumb.
Oh, terrible. They didn't think about this at all. No. They didn't even try.
Nope.
No.
Hey, I'm a fucking Wall Street. I got my Walkman. It's 1929. Oh.
So stupid.
How'd you bring a fucking Walkman in with you?
Yeah.
There's plenty of things. Sorry, Tim.
No, it's fine.
It's fine, guys. It's fine.
You're railroading me.
All right, let's get into it here, guys.
Let's
do it.
So, the movie opens in Civil War era Georgia with a stranger confronting a Confederate convoy and shooting the fuck out of them with a machine gun.
What a strong start. Starting off with future guns, just mowing down Confederates. Wow.
Laser guns and Confederacy. Love it.
Who hasn't had that thought in their life? Especially playing all those video games. It's like, if I had a machine gun back in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
yeah.
Ancient, or you just do the cheat code in ancient civilizations, and you just do.
I was say my note was classic Hick. Missing a tooth and future guns. They're just inseparable. So it's just like, this is amazing. What an amazing start. Ugh.
That would probably be a little more controversial to put that in the movie now, considering how strongly apparently the Confederacy has become part of everyone's heritage in the South. Yeah.
Well said, Bill.
I don't know what you're talking about, Bill. I haven't seen one single Confederate flag in Tennessee.
I've lived here for many years.
I also haven't left the house in 2 days, so I haven't seen one. But
so I don't know what the sun looks like no more. But
oh, Nikki took the one down she had in the family room.
Yep.
Oh God. You guys are losing your Southern heritage. By that I mean your strong Northeast roots.
Yeah.
Joke's on her. It's on the roof, so everyone can see it now, just from above. God can see it.
Yeah.
Just below the Trump sign.
Yep.
All right, so then we take a hard cut to present day Washington D.C., or I guess present day. I don't fucking know. It's a time travel movie, so who cares?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where some dude tells some senators about time travel and how they're going to start a time travel police force. And again, it takes them zero time to be like, sure, cool.
Oh, it's already invented, eh? Okay, well then I guess we should just do it.
Well, laugh it up, boys, because it's already happened. What? All right, I'm in. Let's do it. Police force.
I really want to be clear. They're creating a new agency. That needs to be a statute. You need to pass that from both ends. No. I just love it. The guy comes in, he's like, it's a classic, I'm a Southern senator, my tie's undone. Oh, you just want some money, don't you? And he's like, yes, I do. You know why? I'm a young Barack Obama. And also, even into time travel. I was like, oh my God, this is getting even better.
But who's got to spear lead it? The sinister guy in the corner who's like putting his fingers together. Just yes.
Can't stop himself from smiling at the prospect here.
Why are you laughing like that? Like what?
What? Oh, you talking to me, Senator Sinestro? Oh, of course not. Everything's all as well.
Lucifer Sinestro?
So stupid.
I just want to. there's an element here of I don't know, the idea of setting up a police force to protect all of humanity from time travel. It's just like, you're not protecting all of humanity. You're protecting current rich people from not becoming rich anymore. Let's
wink,
just
wink.
be honest. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Let's just be. This is a private, secure meeting. This is a safe space. Let's just be real about this. You're protecting Elon Musk so that Elon Musk keeps his money. That's fine. Let's just say it. Call a horse a horse.
Well, how else is the money going to trickle down, Bill? All right.
And it's going to start any day now.
trickling?
It's going to start.
Wake up, buddy. Wake up. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't like it, Bill, you can go to Mexico, just like President McComb tells everybody.
Exactly. What a classic evil guy. It's like, yeah, you're right. I am for the 1%. It's like, no one ever says that.
It's so good. When we get to that point, I think I wrote it down. Great quote.
So then we take a lot of hard cuts in this movie. Take another hard cut from this place, this backroom DC meeting, to JCVD, Jean-Claude Van Damme, harassing Ferris Bueller's girlfriend at the mall. She might also be his wife.
With the first lines being, "There's ever enough time." It's like he cannot pronounce his ends at all.
There's never enough time to satisfy a woman. I never understood. Even the second time that we get that line, I'm still like, I still don't understand. I don't understand this. The context.
Bill's waiting on the rebound.
Yeah,
he's really bad at cunnilingus, Bill. That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
He's got a little coke dick, so he's just not doing anything for anybody.
Do you think he tries? It's just full on like the hardest. Hardest fucking in the hardest core porn JCVD does.
Yeah. The only thing the women are seeing are just his feet, because he's doing splits like horizontally into the woman.
Right.
Yep. Or sex worker or whatever it is that he's fucking at that day.
I just remember I just made 2 visual images, or at least an audio and a visual image. I just wrote, quote unquote, "Never enough time to defeat the most 90s thief of all time." He's he's rollerblading with a huge red jacket from an old woman
in the middle of a busy mall.
Yeah. Rollerblading slower than the people that are walking by him. I've never seen someone rollerblade that slow.
Foolproof plan.
It was unbelievable. I just remember looking at this guy. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. They're like, we're at the coolest place and where everyone is, the mall. And also, there's villain.
The Canadian mall that's supposed to be EC.
It's like one of the Mighty Ducks falling on hard times.
Goldberg.
Goldberg lost a lot of weight to steal.
Goldberg did lose a lot of weight, and he does have some troubles.
Yeah, that's right.
God. Never enough time.
Yeah, so after some real awkward dialogue between JDVC and Ferris Bueller's girlfriend, then we take another seriously hard cut to a hairless ass hammering down an old Sloan baby.
Yeah. Some smooth jazz sex.
The
line stuff right there.
And what amounts to the Weasley's house too. That house is fucking ridiculous. It's got 8 stories.
It's the rig sex scene inside the Weasley's house. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I don't know if I pointed out to Michelle. I was like the chimneys in the front. I was just like, I've never seen a house like that. It's fine, but it's just like you're breaking my reality. Every other house I've ever seen is in the back. And it's also this weird Victorian with a veranda, but also a spire. I was like,
there's definitely windows that are missing. This house is not a fixer upper. This is you tear it down and just rebuild on the lot. That is not doing that house.
This is a flop house.
The best thing that could have happened to it is it gets blown up, which. Well,
multiple times, but somehow still all the frames are there.
Yeah.
It's a mass amount of C4 that's going to kill everyone on Earth. Meanwhile, only every door and window is blown out. The actual house is fine.
Tim, I'm glad that you said, though, the very awkward interaction between the actress, what's her name? The female character, Ferris Bueller's, Melissa.
Sloan.
Yeah. That was rough. She was dry or something. I don't know what was going on there. There was no chemistry between the two of them.
Well, I think they kind of show it later on. It's because she had just met with Jean-Claude. like in the other. Maybe. No, that doesn't make sense though.
No, that doesn't make
she
sense
just
because
dies
everything
and they
changed
fucking blow
after.
up, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And she won the Saturn Award.
She won a Saturn Award for this. She's fine in the other scenes. It's just that scene in particular is really weird.
But she's in the movie
really
for 5 minutes.
Yeah. It
It's
had to
like
have been
the
a
very
choice.
beginning.
I just don't think that they just didn't explain it well enough. Or they just wanted you to think that they didn't know who each other was because Jean-Claude was kind of doing a little bit of a weird voice at the beginning. Like he's putting on like extra creepy Eurotrash voice when he was first talking to her, you know? Like if he's usually talking like this, he was talking like this.
I mean, I'm sure the reason why it has nothing to do with the character. It's that Jean-Claude Van Damme was sexually harassing her off screen.
Yeah. Probably had his heart on sticking into her. It's just like, God damn it.
And then
She's
they walked
just
on screen.
forcing herself through the lines. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Or it's the only shot they had in which when you see Jean-Claude in the back, he wasn't just like fucking with his nostrils from just doing a couple of bumps before the take. That's
right.
More likely that. It's just like, God damn, he looks fucking terrible. We gotta just use the one shot that works when his nose isn't bleeding.
His nose isn't bleeding. He doesn't have post-nasal drip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after some serious JCVD sexing, he gets a call. He has to go to work. Yeah, he's a DC cop, by the way, just for context. Who cares?
Not for long.
Not for long. Bill's like, that's a pretty important part of this, and I'm like, yeah. Who cares?
It doesn't really matter.
But Sloan has something to tell him. But he gets jumped out, walking out the door before she can say anything.
Most obvious thing in the world. This was the first time I've seen this movie. Immediately, she's pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it.
100%.
And who the hell is just like, can it wait until after? How about you just tell me now when we like take 2 seconds?
Also, you've had all day to fucking tell me.
Right. There's also that. Yeah.
Like we drove home, we had sex, we took a nap, we woke up. Like at any point in time, you probably got food at some point. You clearly went shopping. You're at the mall. Plenty of times which you could have told.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's a 2-word thing. You could just say, I'm pregnant. That's it. It takes a second.
Also, if you want, this is probably like a Notebook thing. You know, we just don't understand women because they're complicated.
Makes a lot of sense.
What do you want? What? What do you want? I don't know what you're saying. What do you want?
But if you wanted him to stay, telling him would have been a good way to get him to stay.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more than one police officer in DC. Like, you could probably,
Not a time cop, though.
No.
No.
Never
Well, that's
enough
the thing I
time.
love, though. It's like, oh, he answers the phone with his last name, Walker. Classic 90s thing. And he goes, can't you find somebody else? And then he goes, tell her, someone's sick. Like, okay. Like, not like, hey, he's on a double homicide investigation, da-da-da. It's like, his tummy doesn't feel good. He needs you to come in, help him out. It's just like, make anything else, please. Please.
Jean-Claude, he gets shot, but he's still alive. He's trying to go get Sloan. I'm going to call her Sloan for the rest of this, just so everyone knows.
Why is it Sloan?
Because that's Sloan from Ferris Bueller.
No, I don't
The
accept.
girl.
I'm going to call her Melissa. Fuck that
Whatever you
movie.
want. There's one
I'll
woman
call
in
her
this
Sarah.
fucking there's one woman in this movie, Bill.
I mean, Fielding's good.
No other women. He tries to get into the house to save Sloan, but it explodes.
Dude, the mullets that these goons have. Holy shit. I have never seen.
Great.
I mean, the two guys, like, one is better than the other. It's something else.
That is some hair. That is quite some hair. Yeah.
I was
It's like
close to
that's-
doing that, of having
That's
that
like
at one point.
that's like the sewer people from Demolition Man. Like some solid future hair going on there. Because
The
that's
sewer people
these
from
people.
Demolition Man.
What's that?
I was gonna say the sewer people from Demolition Man, or the like Biff and all his buddies from like the future and
Well, he's definitely wearing.
Back to the
He's
Future.
definitely wearing Biff Jr.'s shoes. One of them.
yeah,
for sure.
100%. Yeah,
That fight scene was one of the worst fight scenes I've ever seen. I mean, the number of cuts and like the number of times where like the camera, it has like just barely has the people in it, like the bottom right corner, or like everything's out of focus. you can't see anything that's happening there. They might as well have just gone black screen, just say it's dark outside, we can't see anything, and just hear thump, thump, thump. Like, okay, he's getting beat up. Because that's as much as you can see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good fighting, but I also want to remind you there's a later fighting scene where there's knives involved, and all that Jean-Claude does is move his hands up and down. And he's blocking every single knife blow. Because that's all I saw when I was watching this. I was like,
that fight scene was good.
This is not good.
I love that one.
It's 100%. Every single swipe that dude, that Asian guy who's like the Asian guy in every single fucking 80s and 90s movie takes ends up at the exact same place.
Same point.
Like right at his eye level.
That was like that's like a sword fight that you and your friend have with sticks, where you're not trying to hit each other, you're trying to hit the other person's stick.
Yeah, you kind of stop right before you go, just so the other person can hit it.
You're never aiming at the person, you're aiming at the stick, and that's what
horizontal.
They were doing.
Yeah,
vertical, horizontal. It's like, okay,
T.
You know, that's what that knife fight, which I'm sure we'll get to, is basically.
Also,
that's it.
who has knife fights like they're swords? Do you go at like clanging the metal parts together? Like, I feel like you're normally like you'd probably be taking swipes at each other. It'd be more like a fist fight than it would be like a sword fight. I mean, I haven't been in too many knife fights. I have the most experience here, but that's my thought.
Shaboing.
Yep, you should have just put your hand up, Bill. You would have stopped all of those stabs.
Vertical line would have been. I don't know why I didn't think of it.
It definitely would have thrown the guy off.
He's like, "Oh fuck, you watch Time Cop too?"
I don't have send this off.
Also, so the house just blows up. Just all the goats just die in it. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But then they come back later, so it's fine. What happened there?
I guess maybe you could assume they traveled back to the future.
They must have, and the bomb just went off.
And she was like tied up or something. Yeah, they leave a lot.
They were holding her in the window, and then they just cut to the house just blowing up. So I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, there was no explanation.
No,
it seemed like they were probably all dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a good move by Macomb just to completely annihilate those people because they're clearly idiots, as we find out later.
Yeah.
He's dead. He's clearly not dead, you fucking moron. The older guy is right here. Boy.
So after Sloan explodes, we get another hard cut to 1929 Wall Street, where we meet the future JCVD, who's now a time cop.
Yeah.
Busted his former partner for trying to rig the stock market. And that's it's as confusing and nonsensical as it sounds, folks.
So here's the thing. Let's just say, hypothetically, somehow a newspaper from 2084 drops into my lap and it has the things with the stock market in it. Is that really... Am I going to be able to look at a newspaper from today and be like, oh, here's Texaco, invest in Texaco. Like, I don't think that's how newspapers work. I don't think that's how the stock section of the newspaper works. And it's 80 years apart. What the hell's going to happen in the meantime? That made no sense whatsoever.
Well, the market crashed. It's during it's right after Black Tuesday. So the market was at the most bearish it ever was. And then he's just looking at all the top gainers and he's just investing 100,000 shares.
I get that,
into
whatever. You want to know what companies exist in 19 whatever it is, right? So I guess that's what he's looking for.
He's just looking for companies that existed at both times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I guess is he's doing. But that being said, he's looking at I guess there's companies that existed then and to now. But I agree with you, Bill. It could have been more artfully done by putting things we all recognize in we all know that I don't know, IBM, okay. I think I just remember him circling things like McReynolds. I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, McReynolds is a thing. Sure.
I believe you.
Whatever. Yeah. I
Bank of America.
There, so.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right?
U.S. Steel. Okay.
Yeah. Something I'd be like, oh, of course. He's just circling random things and cackling into his walk.
He's like, yeah, I'm so fucking awesome, smart.
Yeah, no. Eat shit. Okay, see you later.
It's like everyone in this firm's dying. Yeah, it's fucking great. I gotta go. It's like this guy stands out like a sore thumb. Why does everybody know who this dude is?
You talk different than people in this town.
Daryl Strawberry, huh? Fucking the Mets, right? It's like,
The Mets?
No, I don't think so.
Don't you mean the Queen Savages?
Yeah, whatever.
So, Jean-Claude, he brings his partner back to some Judge Dredd style court, and he gets the death penalty, but we find out along the way that he's working for collecting money from the past for some presidential candidate.
So we did miss the first split of the movie, though. During Atwood, he brings in all of his goons into 1929 office, and this guy tries to swing at Van Damme with like a broken lamp, and then Van Damme just goes into that split, just punches the dude in the stomach, and then doesn't he eventually take the same lamp and shove it up his gooch?
Shove it up his ass, because then he goes, "Oh, oops, I got poked." I was like, "Oh,
pinky in the mouth." Ooh.
Dearie me. I was like, this is ridiculous.
This is right after the guy put his fisticuffs up and goes, "I went 10 rounds with John Sullivan himself." And then Van Damme just gives him a roundhouse kick to the face.
Yeah. Again, doing a split roundhouse kiss and then kick to the balls. It's like, okay.
He does have a lot of focus on the testicles. It's a big thing for him.
He loves kicking dicks.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
Every movie too. You'll get that. You'll get a couple of dick kicks when Van Damme is at the lowest point of the ground. It's teabag level.
He probably hates his dick and is taking it out on other dicks.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I can see a lot of nights where JCVD is in a hotel room with some woman kind of strung out on coke, and he's just yelling at his dick. Come on! That's an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Come on! Do it! Do it now! Get bigger!
Imagine Arnold from the Low Countries. Okay.
Get in the coochie!
Get in there! Get in
this maid's coochie! Come in the maid! Make a large face boy!
Show me your capabilities.
The whole reason he learned how to do these splits so impressively is to just pummel his balls because he hates them. He hates them.
It's a couple of speed bags.
Easy access.
Why are you doing that? Doesn't it hurt? Yes, and they deserve it.
It hurts very much. It hurts me so much. No, Tim, that what you just said is basically an art. I don't know if it was an article or a Reddit thing. It was some fucking story about Van Damme in the 90s when her friend was a coke dealer. They went to his hotel, and Van Damme was buying coke from the dude, and he was talking to all of them, and he asked the girl to go into the back room with him, and she did. And then she said that he was just in there. He was just trying to jerk his dick and it wouldn't work. And he was on the phone with his wife doing phone sex at the same time that the girl was in the room. And he's winking at her. And then she was in there for 5 minutes. She's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go." Just walked out.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
Utter
Thank
chaos. Utter chaos.
Yeah.
Thank you, but no thank you.
There's a lot of problems there. That went to a whole nother level when you said he was on the phone with his wife. Oh, boy.
Yep. The wife that he's married 3 times. That one.
3D chess.
This time he's going to be different. All right. So, yeah. We... yeah, so the president, we find out, is working for some presidential candidate. And then, Senator McCombs, who was back in that second scene, the guy twirling his evil mustache tied up with a girl tied up on the train tracks, but that no one really saw. He comes in with some jabronis, stops in at the TEC for a visit. I don't know. It's kind of
classic. This is a classic 90s walkthrough. It's I'm seasoned, you're not. Let me try and get you to my side. You have this new. He's like, "Oh, I'm a new senator." La la la. It's it's just perfect as they walk through. And I think this is when what did I say? I wrote a note about hold on, give me a moment, gang. Let me gather my thoughts. It's reluctant hero. That was my thing. He's like, oh, you're Walker. Like, I've been on this committee forever. Like, you're famous. He's like, no, I'm not famous. Like, looking away from everybody. It's like, no, but you are famous. Why don't you come with us? Like, you're with the special people. And I was like, oh my God. Every 90s formula is now being like expounded upon in this movie. And I loved it. Every moment of it.
The thing that killed me about this scene is that like Walker just leans right into it immediately. Like, not like outwardly saying like you're doing this, but it's just like very heavily implying directly to McComb's face that like, I know that you're involved in the past stealing things. That is a bold thing to do to a person that has unfettered access to your entire history and can kill you at any point in your past. I would say maybe take a more subtle approach to that. Just a thought.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to see my cards in this poker game?
Look. It's 2 aces on table, and I got 2 aces. What do you think?
I know you're evil and going to the past and killing people and stealing money. I'm on to you.
Hey, I just went all in, but before you bet, I'm going to turn my cards over.
Also, I love seeing Bruce McGill in these movies. He's the one who's like the boss of the Time Cops. Always a good addition to any 90s movie.
He was good.
Yeah. He came up recently on the TV show Reacher. He played a corrupt mayor, and he was great in it too. Basically, put the same character and everything, but
he wasn't corrupt in this though.
No, which I was shocked. I was expecting him to be dirty the whole movie.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Is he the corrupt commissioner or like Al Comiskey, like the owner of like the
or Ben Hogan.
Always like, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. I'm from 1910 or 1920 because my hair is always slicked back.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, so then we cut scene again to this car that is apparently looks like a VCR, basically.
What the fuck is going on with these cars?
Yeah. We find out that McCombs is in fact that dirty time criminal.
These cars, they're station wagons with the entire Boston Metro T-map on the roof. Like, that is what that car is.
Yeah. You can't see out of it.
The fuck is that?
What's the fucking point?
It's a tank.
They bought the worst possible. Like they must have just bought the cheapest possible cars they could, and then just like covered it in even know what that's just shit.
Yeah, cardboard. That's shit that Preble throws away.
Yeah, which I'm throwing away, and then I think I really shouldn't throw that away. That was integral to my whole structure.
I had a time machine.
Keep me warm to the winter. But it's just like these cars are insane. That's why I'm always like a little tentative when I watch movies and I'm like, oh, they're like, it's 1994 and then now they're in like 2004. So it's like 10 years in the future. It's like, oh, okay. And they just like assume that like the 10 years in the future, like we're having like 10 times the like industrial like revolutions we're going to have. You know what I mean? They're like, these cars are going to be basically trash cans, but they take you to the future. And it's like, don't do that. Like just make a futuristic looking one and put us out like 100 years.
Right.
Because I can like do that. Like I, as an audience member, can be like, if I was born in 1900 and it was, there were no airplanes in the year 2000, there were a bunch of airplanes. Like I can understand that. Not the like, it's 10 years.
The fuck is that thing? That is an abomination. It's just a bunch of brown Legos.
Exactly. So it's like, what if we made the Ghostbusters car but worse?
Yeah, like the thing in the back of the thing in the back of the DeLorean, like the flux capacitor. What if we just made the whole car a flux capacitor?
What if the car was just a flux capacitor that worked? And I was like, Jesus Christ! Like that's the problem. I was like, this car would never exist. Like they just like totally like people in the future just totally like rational. They have no care about like aesthetics or like a nice looking car. They're like, we just want a car that can take us to our house by saying home. It's like, you wouldn't think anyone would make an attractive looking one of these. It's like,
lines, maybe?
No, just a bunch of trash cans heaped together and then spray painted. And that's how you get around.
And there's no function. It's like, there's no clear function. It's just you've encased it in plastic.
Yeah, which is great. I'm sure for every occupant inside is there suffocating.
Right.
Like, okay.
So apparently they were designed by the same guy who designed the Blade Runner cars, which is unfortunate for that guy. God damn, I would have been pissed if I were the Time Cop people. It's like, what the fuck? No, make one of those. Make the Blade Runner
do
car.
This good movie. Make that good movie
it look
again.
Good.
Right here. Like, okay.
He's like, you first.
God,
That's so stupid.
fuck is it's just a goddamn trash can. Like, jeez. Sorry, go on. I'm just looking at this shitty car.
Yeah, so then, JCVD, he's back home. He's drinking his sorrows away when, bam, he's attacked.
Sure. Why not?
Sorry. I'm just now looking at cars. They're making fun of some of these Tesla models and the Time Cop car. Apparently, it's just the same fucking thing. This is the Tesla, one of Tesla's Elon Musk's cars. It's like, I know where he got this from.
Not attractive.
Yeah, hilarious.
Jesus. So this is the knife. Is this the knife fights?
Yes,
this is the knife fight. This is
after
the one
Van Damme watches his homemade sex tape and passes out to it.
Yep.
Again, another awful trope. Just, I don't know. Maybe this wasn't a trope at the time. It's hard to know, but like, it's
I think but like as a collective, right? Because I wrote classic remorse scene.
Yeah,
right. Like
Stallone
he's like
did a lot of
watching
these.
Yeah, like the 80s and early 90s were just like full of these. So it's like people had like access to like a VCR. Or, you know what I mean? They were able to like record themselves.
Home video by yourself with a bottle of booze. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With a water bubbler in the background.
Words. Yeah, exactly. Because that's what,
the future.
That's what 90s households had.
Again, predicting the future, Americans don't have clean water through the tap. You have to have a bubbler in your own home.
I think it's
Feels
hilarious.
Like I know that. I'm in Maine.
Look at how different the cars looked, but the bubbler is just a bubbler.
It's the same.
Look, you can't improve on perfection.
Nope.
Right.
Perfect mousetrap.
And they just have like,
so you can't improve upon this.
And then like the floors just have like a little digital ticker, like a sports ticker on the side of the ceiling. Which was kind of weird too.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently it's somehow a smart house or something. I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
But this is the split scene too.
Very effective use of splits once again. Except he's split in the air.
This is the one on the counter cabinet,
on the
right?
Counter,
yeah.
Oh man,
effective.
that butt. Wow.
Ooh la la.
Good God.
His underwear were just like modern day compression pants because there's no way like boxer briefs would ever fit like that in which you could do a full split. No. They were so goddamn tight.
Something would pop out.
He's a part of like the semi-pro league for whatever DC metro area it is for like, like the Baltimore Orioles. It's like, okay.
Or he just went to a male
Under
strip
Armour
club.
got started. Just making underwear for JCVD.
Yeah. You need to just fix all that friction from all those splits and kicks.
Exactly.
How do we hold everything in when you're doing those hot splits?
That's actually shocking. That's something he should have advertised. So apparently in this movie, there's like it's like black gum, which is the gum that he's chewing in a scene like later on, and that was a gum company that he was doing commercials for in Japan at the time.
Are you shitting me?
But it's like you're doing black gum commercials. Why do you do some fucking like boxer brief commercials with that? Just do some splits and show off that big butt.
Right, exactly.
Come on,
That's more money than just chewing gum.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, if Jean-Claude Van Damme has any strength, it's chewing gum. That's what puts butts in the seats.
So after the fight, then we meet this fucking Fieldings lady, and she's from Maternal Affairs. Yada yada yada. Her and JCVD go back in time to some computer chip manufacturing plant that also looks like a fish packing plant.
I know it's like, oh, we're down by the docks. This is where we keep all the marlin.
Right.
It's like, okay. But it's also, we're manufacturing microchips here. And by the way, it's super cold inside of our wooden shed.
Yeah.
So be careful. You gotta be kidding me. It's fucking terrible.
They very clearly established that, like, you can't go anywhere near your past self. Under no circumstances. It could tear apart the universe. Nobody knows what would happen, but you can't go back to your old self. Jean-Claude Van Damme, why don't you go back to 1994 Washington, D.C. when your wife died? I'm sure that won't be a problem at all. You'll be good. You just go. That's all. That's all you.
Also, I love that the same matter can't occupy the same space. What are you talking about? You are the same matter. Like, I don't understand. Like I don't understand. Like, why can't you just say a copy of the same matter? A duplicate?
Or the fact that 10 years removed, are you the same matter? You know what I mean? It's like the things have changed in that time period, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Maybe if they said something like the same consciousness can't be in the same space, physical space or something. I don't know, but like, it just, I didn't understand.
That doesn't sound too scientific for us. Like,
a person with the same social security number cannot be in the same space.
It's common sense.
Right? But that's what I love about the movie. It's like, doesn't that sound so appealing? It's like, oh, you just can't touch the same stuff. It's like, can't it? Like, why? What are you talking about? And like, same matter? Like, what does that mean?
And yet everyone or Jean-Claude Van Damme and McCombs are like flaunting it. Like when McComb is like circling his former self, I'm like, wow, you're not too worried about this guy like just like taking a turn you're
touching
not expecting
you?
or something. Yeah, exactly. Like, what if the guy just happened to like turn left when you were expecting right and you bump shoulders? Oh, yeah, human jelly.
Yeah,
you just warp into some fucking.
I would have left that as like a maybe a 6-foot barrier just to be safe.
Also, here's something. So when you come back in time, when you time travel, presumably you're not a ghost, right? And you're like you are physical matter. So like I wouldn't occupy the same space. I would just be touching another piece of matter.
Also, a very good point. Yeah. That's true.
Unless you're a ghost, I'm automatically you time travel.
I would say, Tim, that under no circumstances, any point, any time in the universe can two pieces of matter occupy the same space. Because
I think that's like the
they
first
are separate
law of
pieces of matter.
Yeah, that's like the first law of physics.
They have separate physical dimensions.
I just remember when he's handing him the check, and it's like, oh, I wonder if they're going to touch it, and that's going to make them explode. And he drops it. It's like, well, the envelope or the check isn't the same matter. It's a fucking different thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, what is, you know what I mean? I don't understand this. I don't understand like the physics or like the laws the principle they're trying to apply here.
I got to tell you, Mike, like, I don't think the people who made the movie understand what they're trying to apply here either.
I think that they just wanted to do that CG moment, and they just found a way to just fit it into the movie.
They sure did. And did it work? Absolutely. I was like drawn in. I'm like ignoring all signs. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's turning into the thing. I like it.
1982 John Carpenter. This is great.
I also love the time machine. What the fuck is this time machine?
What is that?
Why is the time machine a rocket ship?
Yeah.
And where does it go?
Why does it have to fly at a concrete wall?
Right.
Like, let's even give it the DeLorean thing where it has to read 88 miles per hour or something. Why does it have to be a wall at the end of it? What if things, it doesn't go right and it only hits 66?
Yeah.
Maybe you have a little cushion.
That's where all the bloodstains are, Bill, as they
apparently,
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't you notice
this is what I'm saying. Is the wall essential for traveling through space-time? I don't understand.
And how do you come back? Like, they don't end up in the place in the time machine.
They're not getting a notice. What if someone was just fixing the track and then it just goes like, runs everybody over?
Again, they're just like two little dots of blood. I was like, man, two bodies crash through. But that's not what it's going to look like. It's just going to be like a fucking like tomato store,
or
over this wall.
Or be respectful. If these were employees, maybe you like wash off the blood or paint over the wall. It's just like, no, keep it. Those fucking twins sucked anyway.
How about you travel through time, you get into a spaceship, you go 1,000 miles an hour at a concrete wall, and you reappear in the past, void of spaceship, and then you come back to the future in the spaceship. Yeah. Where the fuck does the spaceship go in between?
Correct.
That's what I wrote the same exact thing down. Like, where does it go? What's the point of it?
You plebeians.
It exists in this liminal realm.
You plebeians, you got to read Stephen Hawking's Nobel Prize winning paper.
Time
cop explanation.
It's just the script of Time Cop. Stephen, is this okay? Well, you're Stephen Hawking. I guess we'll take it anyway.
Is this peer reviewed? Like, did anyone else look at this?
It's just the script of Time Cop with the first page ripped off.
And you just scribbled your own name on it in your own blood. This is bizarre.
Yeah, sure. So it turns out, they're back at their Fielding and JBC are going to fuck up McCombs back at this chip manufacturing plant, not potato chip, computer chip,
Mhm.
and but it turns
AMD
out,
headquarters.
yeah,
Yep.
turns out Feelings is dirty and working with McCombs, but pow, boom, smash. JCVD fucks up shit, but no, McCombs gets away.
Go ahead,
Surprised.
Max,
I was I was expecting Bruce McGill to be the bad guy, and I was not expecting this lady to be a bad guy though. I
wasn't
shocked.
either. They were really setting her up as like kind of the new love interest. She's really cool. I like her.
She's
and
cute.
Yeah,
boom. Yeah, that was
she had
that was a
hard
legitimate
nips when they
twist.
fell into the water.
Yep. They had to
Thank
keep that
you.
JCVD. Grr!
Wait a minute, Tim. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Did we skip the VR porn?
in. Yeah.
We did skip
Yeah,
the
we
VR
did.
porn, Bill.
Tim, the only set of tits in the movie, and you jumped right past them. I feel like
Oh,
No,
not
no,
the only
no,
set of tits.
No,
Bill.
they're no. Bill,
Sloane
the end
showed
of the
her
film,
tits.
please.
Yeah, you see Sloane's tits in that sex
Oh.
scene.
right. You're
In
right.
that
Yeah.
super realistic sex scene where they're just cuddling and just rubbing each other's chins and their necks like regular humans do.
That's how everyone
We're-
has sex.
Yep.
It's really
Copulation.
Sensuality.
You hit it on the head, Max. It's really just JCVD smashing his limp coke dick
Yep.
into a dry pussy. That is
Yep. Into a sad, sad woman. That VR sex scene. So I wrote this down. This is a trivia fact. The virtual reality nude scene was originally supposed to be a nature documentary about beavers. However, the offsite film team got drunk the evening of shooting and ended up at a strip club. And then the next morning they woke up realizing they missed all the footage and they missed the bus for the footage. So they just called the girl to go do this instead. They just
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yep.
That is the greatest story of all time. That's like when the Edmonton Oilers lost the Stanley Cup off a bridge. You know what I mean? That's like one of those stories.
That's awesome.
Epic.
Like, this can't be true because it's
Right.
too realistic.
Right.
It's like, oh, but it
It's
is.
great.
I mean, another absolutely prophetic moment for this movie, though. Looking at porn at work, I mean, top notch, really nailing it there. And VR porn, good
Yeah.
job. They really crushed it there.
But this is honestly the reason why I didn't bring it up, Bill. It's just, fake tits have come a long way.
Yeah, those are some
Fake
shitty tits.
Oh my God. It was like someone put like Steve Carell from 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's like bag of sand in there. You know?
There's a couple of anthills in there.
Yeah.
Just, the fuck is this? It's just like, when you those ice balls you have in cocktails that
Yeah.
are just perfectly symmetrical and hard. That's just basically what they just put inside the poor lady's body.
Oh God.
Terrible. God, I just, you gotta hate a bad pair of fake tits. There's nothing
You really
worse.
You really do.
I'd rather just see none.
Boobs are boobs.
Mm.
Hey,
There's
William, Bill.
levels. There's levels, Bill.
Very egalitarian, William. Thank you. Hey, we're all the same.
Yeah, so McCombs gets away, and Jean-Claude, he comes back to the future, the present. I don't know what it is in this movie.
Why?
I gotta get back to this scene though. There's a few other things in here.
All right.
So, first one a great quote by McComb is never interrupt me when I'm talking to myself. I enjoyed that one. Do I look frozen to you? You look like shit. Dan's come back. This is the quote. This is that big quote though that McComb says is the country's down the drain because of the special interests, which is exactly like draining the swamp.
Yeah.
And then it says we need somebody in the White House so rich he doesn't have to listen to anybody. When I'm in office, it's going to be like the 80s. The top 10% will get richer, and the other 90% can immigrate to Mexico where they can find a better life. Just like stamp elephant.
Just two on the nose. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. And then after he kills a microchip guy, Van Damme goes, maybe he'll calm down after the election, which is just like, holy shit.
I know. It's like, honestly, like that was Kevin McCarthy's, sort of like policy talking point speech he gave this week.
So, hey, everything will be fine. Don't worry about it.
Once he's in the office, he'll hold the respect of the office. He won't be the way he is right now, right?
Right.
He won't be the same way he's been for his entire life, right?
Yeah. with unlimited
we
power.
all change at age 70. So, you know.
And then one other thing too is that guy has like the liquid nitrogen, and then he like breaks his arm, and Van Damme says,
so good.
"Have a nice day," and then he like kicks him off, and then he kind of like thinks about it, goes to McComb, says, "I should have said freeze."
I love that moment.
He says it earlier because McComb says back to him, like, "What does that mean, freeze? Like, what are you talking?"
Yeah, what do you mean freeze?
Like, that was it.
Yeah, and then he goes, "I think he got the idea." For the response, so good.
Amazing.
Yeah, so John Claude, he comes back to the future, I guess, the present, whatever you want to fucking call it, from the chip factory. And it
Back to
turns
the
out
Future
that,
2 style.
Yeah, Back to the Future 2 style. And then it turns out that like everything's changed, and McCombs just runs the government, and he's taken over the Time Cop Bureau, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yep.
And that's what's happening.
A lot of problems going on here. First of all, look, this agency, unexplained, but somehow has the ability to know when things are happening in the past. They have like some radar system that says like, hey, somebody's in 1829 fucking up shit. We got to go back there and fix it. So they are somehow aware of past events potentially affecting the future. Yet, when they come back, everything's changed. There's no procedure, no protocol to being like, hey, here's somebody who's come back. Things might be different for them. Let's do like a debrief, a breakdown, something like that. Nope. It's just like, oh, this guy is crazy. What do you mean? Like McCombs has always been. What the fuck is this agency for if you don't understand that the past can change the future? What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? I don't know. It was absolutely maddening for me. No, that's fine. Let's just leave it there. I got a few things later on, but this was the first time I was like, no, you didn't think about this. This doesn't work. What is this agency for? If they don't have any kind of debriefing moment, because everything could change for a cop when they return.
I don't really want to say everything's changed, though. Really, what's changed is that Bruce McGill is in a different colored vest. And the guy, the weird scientist who's watching porn is dressed a little snazzier.
Yeah. And there's a different name on the building. It just says whatever the fuck instead.
And McComb is now up in the polls. Oh. That is a very selective number of things to change.
Right.
Yeah.
But you could just say that guy just went back, and when he went back in time, he just kind of tweaked a couple of things here and there. So then it's still stupid.
You could say, well, he kind of did say that. Like the chief was just like, oh, why don't you take some time off? You're being crazy.
Yeah, that was.
I think also doesn't Ron Silver? I forget now. I'm drawing a blank on his name as I've been drinking.
McComb.
The bad guy.
So McComb, doesn't he say something also like, in my timeline, you're dead already, or something like that?
He does say something
to
like
John
that,
Claude.
yeah.
So like, is he like in a whole other fucking timeline, in a whole different other movie himself? You know what I mean? Like the same way John Claude jumps back in and he remembers shit and everything else is different. Like, is Ron Silver's character like doing the same shit? When he's like, I've already killed everybody. I've already cleaned everything up. I'm coming back in just to fix it again. But this is the thing, though, is that they don't they make it pretty clear that this isn't like, it doesn't create like tangent universes and like alternate universes. Yeah. It somehow just impacts the future and you meld right into the future that goes forward. Yeah, exactly. But somehow some people retain memories. What would make sense is that John Claude comes back into the future and he doesn't remember anything that happened.
Exactly. Yes.
That's what would make sense, because no one else does.
In that warehouse scene, somebody kicks past McComb in the face and he gets a cut down the face, and immediately future McComb gets a scar on his face. It's like, okay, the past immediately has ramifications on your future self. Got it. As soon as things change in the past, Walker should have forgotten everything, gone back to the future, because he never would have been there in the first place. So, but no, he somehow continues linearly with all of his prior memories.
Thinking about this, Bill, is just thinking about creationism. Just like, how do we all get here? It's just, you can just talk yourself into a circle until you literally just go insane.
I was just going to say, we need Rustin Cole to walk in here. Time's a flat circle,
Man, are those birds real or just me? Am I having a flashback?
Is that Coke for everyone? Or
Oh, it's not Coke? Okay, I'll take it anyway.
Thank you.
Don't tell John Claude that.
Yeah, so after JCVD gets back, McCombs is now back in the future, present, whatever. And he's like, oh, I know what we got to do. We got to go back and kill John Claude before he even joins the TEC. And then we start realizing that this is... The whole thing goes back to the house where it all started.
Time is a flat circle.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
So
where were you?
So then John Claude hatches a plan. I don't know if anyone had anything to say about that, but
No.
No, this is the part of the movie which is like it's like 30 minutes of just kind of stare at the TV. There's like nothing to really comment on.
I know it's just kind of like
As my notes drop off.
Yeah, I got
I'm
like 4 notes
there's
left.
A fight and it's like,
I have 4 notes left too. So, so then John Claude.
I have 4 notes left for the movie, and then my 3 pages of afterthought.
And then incoherent ramblings for
Yeah, exactly.
volumes.
This will be Bill's Ulysses. An endless tome. Anyways. So yeah. McCombs is hatching a plan to kill JCVD. JCVD is like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go find Fieldings and get her to testify. But, that really only serves to get him to realize that his wife was pregnant. And then she's...
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, to which like Bruce McGill's like, who the hell's Fieldings? What the hell are you talking about? It's like, all these like, I got the plan. Here's this, and this. And everyone's like, we have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Exactly. This
Somehow
guy
it
is like
works, I guess.
super excited to just be like, sure, like
Whatever.
whatever you say.
You said we're friends? Okay, I'll die for that.
I'll die. That's good enough for me. I got a friend.
I just think it's funny because as I think of it, if I was going to present this case, it's like I have one witness to a crime, but know what I really need? Another witness. That will really lock this in. It's like, what do you mean? 2 people are going to say the same thing. He shot her. I got shot. Okay.
We don't believe you. He's the president. Get out.
Not guilty. Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Kill them.
He's like, that
Will
was
do,
what
Mr.
it is.
President.
Or he's the president. You can't charge him with a crime. Fuck. Damn it.
There's an Office of Legal Counsel memo out there somewhere. It's like, we can't do anything. Okay.
If only we had a time machine in which we could rig the election.
Go back. Exactly.
Bamboo. No, never mind. There's also, can we all agree that there's 0% chance that upper management would not know how to use this machine? Like, the chief of police would not be able to launch Van Damme back into time. He'd be like, that's why they got the smart people monkeys for.
What?
Yeah.
I have no idea what any of this shit does.
Yeah,
It's like, upper management now can't even open like an Excel file. You know what I mean? Like, or convert something, a Word document to PDF, and this guy can launch somebody into the past? I don't think so. No chance.
No.
He's also a former police officer, like Washington, D.C. police officer. He doesn't know how to do shit.
And also like Marine and also a bunch of other things. Because he lists like all of his like credentials when he's walking with them. It's like, I'm a loving father. I'm a former Marine.
My wife sucks at cooking.
Yeah, she's always too much salt in the goulash.
Goulash.
I donate to PBS. It's like, okay.
I've used that VR porn a couple of times.
It's really good. Like, okay.
The creepy incel's onto something.
So Fielding dies. He does nothing. He gets
he doesn't help
distracted.
her.
He doesn't fucking do
not at all.
anything there.
He goes to get her blood test, and then she's dead.
Why did he
down? He puts the blood test down and takes his wife's instead. It's like,
I know.
What about Fieldings?
Why did he need the blood? Why was the blood so critical? To prove who she was or something?
Prove that she exists, because she doesn't exist in the reality that he came back to. So he's going to be like, well, this blood shows that she's real.
At some point.
Should still exist. They didn't kill her past self. They killed a alternate version of her in the present. When they go back to the present, it should just be a different Fielding. There should just be a different Fielding that didn't do an investigation of Walker.
Yep.
Yeah. Or she did die in that hospital the way she dies.
But that's still not her past self. Her 1994 self is 16 years old. You'd have to kill that one for the other one not to exist.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Shit. Yeah, that's a huge.
That's the problem with time
That's a huge
travel
fucking
stuff.
hole.
There's always
Yeah.
a point before the thing happens.
This is all part of my
she's
longer
still
notes.
just the 2004 fielding in 94.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Good thing they were in Colorado. That
Yeah.
would have been weird
Right.
for her.
They were 2,000 miles away.
Yep.
This is like Inception for
Jesus
dummies.
Christ. It's really is. This is Inception if you've had like 6 beers. Yep.
So his
Oh my God! But she existed before this movie.
Oh wow, that's so smart.
Oh God! How am I gonna live?
So it was a bad plan to go get her, and he did a terrible job executing it. Essentially,
It sounds like it's the plan of a cokehead. A cokehead Belgian man came up with this plan.
Pocket Belgium with that tiny penis.
and he killed his best friend in the process doing it.
Yep.
Yes.
It literally killed everyone that could possibly help him.
That's actually a fucking hilarious point, is that his best friend died for nothing.
Yep. His best friend that wasn't even his best friend because he doesn't even know really who the fuck this dude is in the reality that he died in. Yeah.
Correct. Even though he asked him, how many times does he mention that he's his best friend? When my best friend asked me to do this, with my best friend, I was like,
But
enough.
it's so
Please.
weird because the fucking porn dude,
How old
like,
are you?
he walks back
Right,
in and
yes.
the guy's like, Walker. Like, they know who he is. It's just they don't know.
He still works there.
I don't know. It's so confusing.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Anyways, so after Fielding dies, future John Claude, stalks his past wife
In the mall.
At the mall.
He shoves that rollerblader into like into a
Before he
display
does
bag of
anything
chips.
Yeah.
Because he's the real bad guy and all.
He's like, before you even start, he just like fucking decks that guy.
Yeah.
The guy's like, what the fuck?
I didn't do anything yet.
This is alternate reality. I'm just a rollerblader, bro.
This is a Minority Report. Leave me alone. He's like, ooh.
Can we just acknowledge that the Jean-Claude Van Damme has always had the ability to save his wife? And it wasn't until
Yes.
she found out that she was pregnant. She's like, this whole time he's like, I must abide by the rules. I can't go save her. It's just not something I can do. Oh, she's pregnant? I can actually save her now. That is allowed.
Right.
Because that's potential life, Bill. And to do so would be an abortion.
Whoa.
Did you even think of that, Bill?
He
You
is
know what?
very
I
We can't do
pro-life,
that
pro-death penalty, as we see in this movie. He has
Thank
no
you.
problem
That is true.
taking a life.
Where is the white supremacy party on here?
Right.
What is their platform?
He's actually just very progressive, and he thinks that birth control and abortion should come on the male side. That's why he's kicking so many people in the balls.
Shooting them
That's
in
why
the
he's
dick
trying
with
to remove their
shotguns.
Yeah, exactly.
JCVD
Testes
vasectomy. Just a roundhouse kick to the fucking gooch right there. Right in the middle.
Again.
Right in the taint.
Unexplained. He's just a weird talking American who knows martial arts. Just like we all do.
Yep.
Sure,
It's like
why
all
not?
those police officers who are gymnasts.
Yeah. They all do splits, right? I've seen a lot of Metro cops. They
Oh my
always
God.
do splits.
Everyone in the NYPD looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme and does splits all day long.
Yep. Directing traffic with just their legs.
Yeah. Olympic gold
Just like
medalists
doing
all. Gymnastics. Pommel horse. They're great.
Yeah, so hard cut again. We go back to the fucking this little like Addams Family house that they fucking have, where the future Jean-Claude is trying to save the past Jean-Claude by really doesn't have a real plan. His plan is just keep him upstairs.
Just creep. Yeah, I'm just gonna break into the house in between.
Yeah, so,
I'm sure this.
Don't go downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
don't
whole-
go downstairs. He's a police officer. What is he? What? Okay, sure. I hear.
Why wouldn't you tell him to like just don't be at home tonight? Go
Or
to
just-
dinner.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Because he still wanted his
Anything.
past self to get laid. That's why.
Anything else?
Well, that sex was good. Probably should leave that in
It
the
was
cards.
good
We can work
sex.
around everything else.
I
know.
did enjoy that sex. I have it recorded.
Because he has no concept of how women get pregnant, and he thought that he got her
That was the
pregnant
one.
that night.
Yeah, even though she had already told him that he was pregnant.
Yeah,
That's not how women work.
time is a flat circle,
And so are uteruses.
right?
You need to continue to fill uterus with cum for the baby to stay alive.
And I keep using the word uterus. I mean baby balloon.
My cum is like yogurt for the baby.
No, except it would be ogurt.
Ogurt.
So stupid.
My cum is like yogurt.
No.
Can I get away with that as the title of this episode? Would people pick up on that? Would we get flagged?
I don't know. That would require someone in any Apple podcast or anything else to be like, let's listen to this episode.
Oh my God.
Of this reprehensible
Yeah, I don't
program.
think they probably don't care about podcasts that no one listens to. So.
I don't know. We're getting Manscaped's coming back, baby. Somebody's listening.
Uh-oh.
Really?
They reached out to us again.
Wow.
Yep. And you want a fucking time cop. The Manscaped episode is gonna the first commercial is gonna be for Back to the Future, which hasn't even come out yet as we talk.
Boom, time travel.
Oh boy.
Take that, Manscaped.
Yeah. Put that in your time circle with cum.
Ogurt.
Ogurts.
Shabam.
Do you use the same razor on your balls as you use on your face? Are you sick of cutting your dick and balls with razors that are too sharp or too dull? Do you suffer from severe chafing or bad ball smell on a daily basis? Hi, Millie Bays here to tell you that this episode of Hold My Popcorn is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their state-of-the-art trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is the best body grooming razor on the market, but don't take my word for it. Instead, hear from some of our happiest customers. Gotta say, after I used the Lawnmower 4.0, I was amazed by how big my junk looked. I recently bought the Crop Preserver anti-chafing ball deodorant, and then I shoved my wife's face into my crotch. She said it's never smelled better, and she went back asking for seconds. These waterproof and wireless changing trimmers reduce the risk of ingrown hairs and grooming accidents, and millions of men have tried and tested these products with outstanding results. Once a month, I tuck my useless man parts in between my legs and dance to the song Goodbye Horses in front of my guests. This used to lead to a lot of razor burn and pain. But now with the Lawnmower 4.0, I find myself shaving even when it's just me and my dog Precious. Thank you, Manscaped. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the exclusive offer of 10% off your first order. But I'm not done. Call right now and receive an additional 10% off your order by using the promo code MyPopcorn at checkout. That's a 20% off value absolutely free. So go to manscaped.com today and use the promo code MyPopcorn at checkout. Operators are standing by. Yeah, but this movie just then turns to the double impact with the two Van Dams
so
just fighting
confusing
people.
to watch.
Yeah,
well, and again,
true.
It's nighttime and there are no lights in the house because Van Damme turned the circuit breaker off. So like, it's impossible to watch. I have no idea what's going on. Who's fighting who this entire time, and not because
the best part is no one else can find the circuit breaker to just turn it back on.
Right.
It's like someone just turning the light off in the room and being like, "Well, that's that, I guess."
At the end of this, near the end of the scene, somebody does turn the lights back on. I was like, "Thank God, I can see again."
Yeah,
I know. This movie is oddly though is like the ending to Universal Soldier, which is also a Van Damme movie, in which it's just raining in the dark, and he's just getting fucked up, and you just know he's going to win anyway.
Is that a decision that's made because like they're bad at the action or something like that? Like, is there a cinematography reason for it?
I think it's the 90s. Just we weren't there yet.
That's like a vibe.
Like, have you watched any of the Nolan Batman movies? Those action scenes, like the fighting scenes.
Yeah, those are bad.
It's just As I shake my laptop, it's like let's just shake the camera and just disorient. It's the Bourne movies, same thing.
Right.
Like let's just disorient the audience so they don't know what's happening. So it makes it look like they're really getting beat up, but they're literally doing nothing. We're just moving the camera.
It's the Harvey Weinstein method.
Yeah.
The Bill Cosby method, I'm sorry, fellas.
I'm sorry. Just do what I tell you, method.
Yeah.
You want to be famous, method? You're so much prettier when you smile. like, oh god,
Smile, baby. So
Sad.
there's some fighting, there's some karate,
Yep, there
kicking,
sure is.
and things, and then the future John Claude throws the past McCombs into the future McCombs, and
Who just showed up to this random house upstairs for no, you said you gave me a call. So I just arrived to this random house.
Right.
I am a poodle.
Because
with a bunch of dead people out front.
Yeah, exactly.
Future
Just
McComb-
bullets flying.
Right.
Bullets
Screaming.
flying.
Yeah, you can hear people screaming from the outside. No, well, I'm a presidential candidate. I should probably go check this out on my own.
Yeah, exactly.
This will be fine.
Future McCombs is like the ultimate alpha. Past McCombs is the ultimate beta.
Right. Stop eating candy bars.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Still making
I was
fun
gonna
of
say,
them.
stop being so fat, you pig.
Fat pig.
It's
You
like,
got
okay,
something
piggy.
there in your
All right, I'll
face. Don't touch me.
talk. It's ugly. Get out of here. It's like, why are you talking shit to yourself? What the fuck is the point of this?
Because he hates himself, Preble. That's
Yeah.
why.
Oh, that's the meta purpose behind this movie.
He's a politician. He
Damn.
doesn't like himself. That's why he's a politician.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, but then they get all
Also
Indiana
McComb.
Jones. Oh,
Also, McComb makes fun of Van Damme about his kicking. Said the only thing that's worth is being on Broadway, which is also great.
Yes.
Good burn. It was a good burn.
Except he says Broadway. Weird. Broadway.
Put the wrong emphasis on
Yeah.
the wrong label. Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot that never figured out the only way to make anything of himself with all that fancy kicking was on Broadway.
hold on.
So
Bill
natural.
thought he got away with something, but I picked up on it. Emphasis? Emphasis.
I have no idea what Bill was saying there.
That's an SNL bit. Mike Myers.
Emphasis?
Say it again.
He'd do a whole bit. It was like a reoccurring thing on SNL where he'd put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllables. The whole thing.
Don't try and time cop me, Bill. You're not confusing me here. All right, fuck you. You fucked up. I'm calling you. Okay.
Accountability,
It's
Bill.
a sub reference to 1992 SNL.
Oversight committee. This is the whole reason for the Time Cop committee in the first place. It's oversight. Accountability.
No, now I'm gonna have to Google.
Mullets. Goons.
I know.
Explosions.
Anyways, the movie ends because McCombs dies, and then John Claude goes back to whatever future time, and he walks back into his house, and his son's there, and Sloane's there, and everything lives happily ever after, except for his best friend who's still dead.
Wait, who?
Also,
No, he's not dead.
No, he's back.
No,
Mr.
he's not.
Bill's
He's
back.
alive.
Yeah, everyone came back. He fixed
Yeah.
everything.
Same
Dead
thing with
in-
the other girl.
He's dead in
What's
my
her name?
mind.
Came back.
The other girl, yeah.
The other girl came back because she told Van Damme about that guy that she fucked when she was 16, and he would not stop talking about it for the rest of the movie.
Yep.
He mentions it like 4 times to her in like
Yep.
25 minutes. It's like, Jesus Christ, you're kind of obsessed with this guy.
I want to call myself to tell me not to do it. A smart girl would call the boy and give him tips. Oh, no, she was right.
No, just don't fuck that
Jesus Christ.
Also,
What
I just want to really
tips?
point out.
Exactly.
guy. Clearly,
What-
there's
what-
there's never enough time to please a woman. So,
Yeah.
what tips could you possibly give him?
Don't come in 10
There's no
seconds.
need.
Sorry,
Have an
baby.
erection.
That's
Last thing
how
I
I
will say-
roll.
the son, Van Damme's son. You know how I know this is really his son in real life, which I don't know if that's actually true. I'm just assuming it is. Is he says we're gonna make barbecued hot dogs. What the fuck does that mean?
Barbecue hot dogs.
Mom
Ed.
said you were going to make barbecue.
We're gonna
hot
make hot
dogs.
dogs. We're gonna make hot dogs. Is that the word you want to use? My Belgian son, my clearly Belgian / European child. I was like, we must barbecue, otherwise there'll be fucking things.
Papa, can we please barbecue the hot dogs? Yes,
Otherwise,
son.
how will I eat the venison? Oh, okay. It's like, all right.
We will
Sure.
barbecue the reindeer hot dogs in our wooden shoes.
We will have meat within tubes, after tube, after tube, after tube. And it will be delicious.
We will then commit
Whoa.
atrocities in the Congo. And
Thank you, Leopold.
Many generations, people will forget about that brutality.
Rubber for you, rubber for me.
That's actually his son. His son was, oh, little Leopold. Yes, we will have the barbecue hot dogs. King Leopold. He was the king during all those atrocities for the people listening.
Yes.
For the person listening.
The person.
Yes.
For Bill listening in the future.
Or me on my way to work.
Bill,
Like, you know what I'll do? Take my mind off this.
Well, 6 weeks. That's a little generous, Max. Maybe 6 months. So just to be clear, he fixed the past. His wife didn't die. They had a child. They lived a merry life. And then he comes back. He comes back to the present, past, future, whatever, and supplants Walker that has lived that 10-year time frame. And now that he's just this person with a 10-year memory gap, doesn't remember anything from the first 10 years of his child's life, presumably.
Yep.
Correct, Bill.
Happy ending.
Okay, nothing wrong there. That's cool.
He picks the kid up. He's just like, again, calls him Leopold. He's like, my name's Timmy. It's like, we agreed it would be Leopold.
I didn't agree to that.
That pant-shitting expression he had when he saw this kid running towards him, like, I think this kid's coming for me.
I got to kick him in the balls.
I know, I kick him in the balls. I got to get him out of here. It's just like,
I need to eliminate him.
I don't know if the split punch to the testicles are going to work. He's too small. He just
goes airborne. He just disappears.
Just punt that kid in the next territory.
Sloan, I don't think we ever really talked about the child. I didn't want it.
It's like Dr. Evil. It's like,
I also did laugh out loud at when the house still explodes, by the way. And it's in slow motion. Yep. And the way, just the ADR Van Damme when it explodes and his neck flies back and he just goes, ah. Just,
ooh.
Ah. So dumb. Okay, I'm dead.
So that's the end of the movie.
I'm dead.
And it was a fun ride.
God damn.
And it makes no sense.
Nope. Fantastic, though.
Yeah, fun ride.
Mm-hmm. Again, enjoyable.
So I got some trivia.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
You want me to get back into the captain's chair, Timmy?
Yeah, go back in the captain's chair. I didn't do any of that other work.
All right, hold on. Let me
readjust myself out here.
I just want to correct one thing. Apparently, the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable is from a movie.
Who gives a fuck, Bill? I'm back in the captain's chair.
View from the top, not from SNL. I apologize.
A View from the Top.
Is Mike Myers in that movie, Bill?
He is. It is Mike Myers that delivers that joke. But
researchers.
Mike Myers doesn't talk in the Halloween movies, Bill.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty.
Liar.
Okay, trivia. Time for trivia. This was the second Jean-Claude Van Damme movie in a row produced by Sam Raimi. The other one was Hard Target. You guys don't know who Sam Raimi is.
I know Sam Raimi, actually.
He's the Spider-Man guy.
Spider-Man, Evil Dead.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He did the Tobey Maguire
the original.
Spider-Mans and then the most recent one.
Dear God.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, yeah.
Yep. And that's going to be a future movie, too. Hard Target. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that one. That's the one when he has the mullet and he's from Louisiana. It's a John Woo directed movie. Woo! Boy,
it sounds too
it
good
is
to be true.
phenomenal. There's so much slow motion of Van Damme's just juicy Jerry curl, just flipping in the back as he turns in dubs. Plenty of those.
Do it right now. Let's just seamlessly go into that right now. Live stream.
Well, we missed out. It's June, so we didn't have our Jean-Claude Van Damme series this year.
Let's wait for Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Maya Sarah, that's who Sloane is. She obviously has a thing for sons of famous people because her first husband was the son of Sean Connery, and her current husband is the son of Jim Henson. So she is fucking loaded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's he runs the whole Jim Henson Creature Shop now, so she's rolling in it.
She knew. She's like, I'm not talented. I'm just going to marry these guys.
It's a Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I mean, that's good enough.
Despite my Saturn Award from
19. Come on.
All right, I had mentioned this in a text message, but I did find a website. It's called Trouble City, and it has a quiz called Trump or Time Cop, where you have to guess if the quote came from Trump or Aaron McComb in Time Cop.
Hilarious.
Fucking fantastic.
That's so good.
All right, box office game. How much did this cost, and how much did it make?
I'm so bad at this.
This one's probably gonna surprise you too.
This one cost
Go ahead, Tim.
$30 million, and it made 180.
I'm going to say this costs the same as it takes to buy a presidential election, $50 million. And that it made $200 million.
It'd take, it was $10 million to make, $100 million is what they made.
Well, I guess the surprise was different for me because so the movie cost $28 million, made 102. It is the only Jean-Claude Van Damme film that ever surpassed $100 million at the box office.
Wow.
Really?
He never had a $100 million movie. This was the only one.
That's crazy.
So not even Street
Going
Fighter?
back to like, this was when him in his peak. So even Street Fighter Preble made $99 million.
So close.
Yeah, I love it.
Colonel Guile couldn't get us $100 million.
Yep, the most American colonel in the world, played by
Yes,
Jean-Claude
the
Van
most-
Damme.
The most American Belgian colonel.
Yep. And even though Johnny Cage was based off him, he turned that movie down to do Street Fighter.
Good.
What a
Great.
fucking idiot.
Perfect choice.
Coke. A lot of Coke, and he also he's also bipolar, which he didn't know. He didn't know until after he went into rehab and started going to therapy that he was bipolar. I think I had mentioned that on our John Claude series that we did last year.
So that kind of explains why he was in a room jerking his limp dick while on the phone with his wife.
Yep, and then turning down like big movies and taking and just burning every bridge in Hollywood. And,
Worst man?
yeah. Yep. I forgot what movie it was. I think it was Street Fighter. They hired like two different handlers, and he got them both addicted to Coke.
Love it.
Well,
Love
good.
it.
So what happened to the handler? He's like, he's a cokehead now. Van Damme ruined him.
I poisoned them. They've come under my magic spell.
My fairy dust. So the movie debuted the weekend of September 16th, 1994. Finished at number one at the box office. It was number one at the box office for 2 straight weekends, and then it dropped to number 2 on the third week. So any guess of what the number one movie was that week that it beat Time Cop?
Forrest Gump.
That'd be a good guess. But so Forrest Gump had already been out for like 12 weeks.
Damn.
You said it was 1994, right?
Yep. So by this time, it would be October 7th of 94.
Toy Story.
That's also a good guess.
Ooh.
Toy Story's 95.
Lion King.
Good guess because that's 94. I don't know when Lion King came out. It wasn't Lion King. So it's the movie called The River Wild, which was a white water rafting thriller starring Meryl Streep and Kevin Bacon as a villain.
Ugh.
Oh,
Also
wow.
co-starred John C. Reilly and Timmy from Jurassic Park.
Oh,
I remember that movie.
What a film.
I don't know how I
have no
remember
memory.
those commercials, but I do.
wow.
I was 5.
Oof.
All right. Next question. Who's your favorite and least favorite in this?
There were a lot of good characters in this movie. Like, it's kind of tough for me to pick a favorite. I think I would go with Bruce McGill. He's just a hilarious cop
So
character.
happy.
Yeah, so friendly.
So chipper.
I'd say probably Sloane, Melissa is my least favorite. She's just that deadpan delivery is just so much a time of her screen time, and it was rough. It was
And they
rough.
did it twice.
You mean that
Yeah,
Saturn
exactly.
award-winning deadpan delivery, you son of a bitch?
It is really weird that the worst lines of the whole movie she has to do twice.
Yeah.
It's not great. I think I remember when it came in for the second time, I was like, ugh, again.
Just as bad.
Not good. Not bueno. I'll go next. I'll say, so my favorite was the bad guy. Was it McGillicuddy?
McCombs.
McComb. There you go. Yeah, he was my favorite because he's also in The West Wing. And he's very devious in that. He was very devious in this.
In what?
So I enjoyed
West
that.
He's in the West Wing?
Bruno.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Bruno,
Yeah, he's
what's
Bruno.
his face?
Gianelli. Bruno
he is.
Gianelli.
He's the strategist for the Republicans
I like Ron Silver.
No.
when
He's the
the
campaign
Allen-
manager for Bartlett.
campaign. No, he's not. No, he's the campaign manager for Alan
He's
Alda
not.
because he was the Democratic strategist He was. Isn't that right? Am I wrong?
Bruno Gianelli was Bartlett's campaign manager for his reelection.
Right. But then
let's look it up.
He's not running, but then he doesn't run for re-election. And then it's
if it's turning
Jimmy Smits versus
no, Bartlett wins the second
term.
Bartlett wins the second term.
No, yeah, he does. But then the series
Jimmy
continues.
Smits is running for Democrat.
And then Jimmy Smits runs against Alan Alda.
Oh, well, you're
Alan Alda is being
like the end of the fucking series here.
What's her name's also? Yeah, never mind. West
the
Wing.
lady from Malcolm in the Middle, I think, right? So, but that being said, the main point was my totally correct diatribe aside.
I gotta side with Tim on this. Who the hell continued watching The West Wing after Aaron Sorkin stopped writing?
I did.
I watched. Yeah. Preble, do you remember that last season when they actually had like an actual presidential debate in like the same camera style of those two? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because that's when he gives a speech. I'm a liberal. Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
it's like Thomas Jefferson was a liberal. Yeah.
Blah, blah. Yes, I do remember that. And it was great. I can't watch it now because it's just so fan fictional. I'm like, this is a distraction.
Like, this is fucking corny. I'm gonna go watch a Disney movie.
This is corny and stupid and not real. So I left that alone. But yeah, again, so that was my favorite character was Bruno Gianelli, specifically from the West Wing. And my memory of the West Wing, where he's the bad
He
guy.
worked with Connie and Doug on the Bartlett re-election campaign.
Yes.
But his staff did not get along well with the President Bartlett's staff at first. This is too much to read.
That's true.
This is too much.
He's right.
This is too much fake information in history.
Oh, God damn it. All right. So he's my favorite. And I'm gonna look this up on my phone now. But my least favorite was also
both correct.
Was also Melissa. Hold on, you son of a bitch! I am correct. I hate this. I know I'm right.
Wait. No, but I'm not saying you're not right. I'm just saying he was Bartlett's campaign manager.
I agree with that.
He played both roles.
Yes, I think we can both agree.
Yes, he did. He played both roles, but at the very end, he also he helped Alan Alda.
This is what we need, guys. We need more compromise in this country. Okay. Rebel, I'm gonna fucking kill you for this.
He's the best, and the girl's the worst because she's useless.
Okay. My favorite. Okay. Was definitely it was Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, he's doing splits. He's punch people in the dick. I mean, those are my two favorite things. Second,
you get to see his hairless ass.
That's nice too. You get to see his
whole hairless body.
His hairless ass mashed that fucking limp rope of his into that poor lady. And my least favorite are those just sad 80s fake tits. Terrible.
They're sad. Terrible. They are sad.
Yeah.
A couple of snow cones. Yep. My favorite is also going to be McComb. I feel like a pretty underrated villain as far as movies go. He was a great villain.
He was. Yeah.
I could have gone for like another 20 minutes of him in this movie. I would have been fine with the movie extending 20 minutes just to get 20 extra minutes of McComb in there.
I like how much smarter he was than everyone else. Like the future self. The past self was an idiot, but the future self was so much smarter than everyone and just shitting on everyone constantly. It was hilarious.
Seasoned. Very seasoned. Just it's like I know what's happening. None of you guys do.
Like when you mentioned before when he chastises his hitmen because he's clearly not dead. The older one's right here, you fucking idiot.
So good.
So good.
Some great quotes in there too. And then my least favorite's gonna be the cars.
Oh, those were terrible. They put no effort into that.
So fucking bad.
Fair point, man.
Yes.
All right, time. Rebel.
And also, I'm sorry, just very briefly. I mean, this is very typical and very topical. Excuse me. But again, I'm reading from Wikipedia.
Mike Myers.
The character reappears as Eric Baker's campaign manager, 2006 Democratic primary, only become an independent consul to Republican Arnold Vinnick after Baker withdraws after the race.
Preble, I wasn't Preble,
wrong.
Just to be clear, we stopped fighting you on this point because we all agreed you were right a while ago.
I just want to be really clear that I was correct.
Yep. Yes.
Would it help if I said?
I just want to make sure Tim knows.
Would it help if I said sustained?
Actually, it wouldn't help me at all. It wouldn't help me at all.
Objection.
It would just be that would be the end. Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. Okay, I guess we'll stop talking about it.
All right, you win. Fuck it.
That's what Tim wants. I don't want that. I want to keep talking about it. But yes, okay. Continue.
Okay, what would you rate this movie?
I'd give this movie a nutritious yogurt for babies. No.
Belgian yogurt.
Belgian yogurt. Thicker and hotter than Greek yogurt.
With plenty of packed in protein.
Oh boy.
For you and your growing baby. My mic is not breaking up, by the way. I'm just doing the Jean-Claude voice.
That is exactly what it
This
sounds.
is how it sounds.
I'll give this 2 sad rock hard titties out of my pure and unadulterated wish that those were more better titties.
I wish I had 4 hands so I could give them titties 4 thumbs down.
That's good.
What would I give this?
I know, I'm thinking too.
No, I gotta really think about this.
You can edit out this silence.
I'll give this 5 enthusiastic, bare-assed thrusts out of 1 unenthusiastic, shriveled, roided up penis.
It's a good ratio.
That's not bad. I'll go with, I believe, we're 3 completed splits by Jean-Claude over 1 pre-Bartlett and then post-Bartlett campaign. 1
The consultation
one Arnold,
fee.
Yeah, 1 consultation fee for the Arnold Vidic, a.k.a. Arnold, a.k.a. Hawkeye Pierce from MASH. So that's a 3 over 1. I think
Carol,
that's
look
pretty
me in the eye.
good.
Look me in the eye. You were right.
Yeah, the best part is I'm not going to not text about this until I immediately fall asleep after this.
Yes, because it is 11 o'clock your time.
I'm going to be like, hey, best of luck out here, gang. I'm going to tell Tim off. Just give me 1 finger.
I forgot to stop recording, Max, so you got to listen to 8 hours of me snoring on the
Yeah, me
pod.
farting and snoring, and Michelle being like, what the fuck, Mike?
Stick around for hour 6. There's night terrors.
Cobras!
Ron Silver wasn't always a Democrat.
What's wrong with him now? What's wrong with him now, Michelle? Someone said he might have been wrong about some obscure portion of trivia. I can't let it go.
We were debating a show that ended in 2006.
Yeah.
All right, any last words besides those? How about recommendations? Any recommendations?
Oh,
Or words?
Well,
Or both?
I'll give a recommendation. It's what we, the Dahmer series. I'd say is good.
It's Halloween time.
It's fucking gruesome, so just be prepared. But it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not the Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie, in which they showed nothing bad.
Right.
Which I appreciate this version. Don't glorify serial killers. Show them for who they are, which are just disgusting psychopaths.
Right.
That's fair.
I think everyone knows this maybe at this point. I might be late to the game, but Prey on Hulu.
Yeah, baby.
Man, that was a surprise. I was expecting something on par with this, where it's just like mindless slashing action goodness. That's fine. That would have been fine. Fucking good movie. Just a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Bill and I had a praise text session this weekend.
What is this?
It's a Predator movie on Hulu that just came out. I don't know, a couple months ago maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, with those natives.
The natives back in time, and it's good. It's really good.
It's Apocalypto with an alien in the middle of it. Basically.
Sounds
very good though. So Bill, I put it on, I think on Saturday night. So I was watching, like, Nikki fell asleep, and I was watching something, and it was just a bunch of explosions and gunshots, like everything I watch when Nikki is asleep, and it woke her up. So I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, like, I'll put something else on. So I put Prey on, just because I know there's, like, no gunshots. There's really not a lot of loud noises, because the whole thing's about them just being, like, hunters and being quiet. So I just threw that on instead.
Good choice. Excellent choice.
Indeed. Great film.
The only thing I would recommend, which I'm sure a number of people have seen, is Cobra Kai. Totally. This sounds like the dumbest show I've ever heard of.
That show's actually good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. I love it. It's because it plays into like they're self-referential about the material, but they're also, it's like compelling in the exact way you would imagine it to be. Like nothing is surprising in a weird way. Like there are like surprises in terms of like overarching things, but like you're never concerned about what is happening next. Like, everyone's going to work out and it's going to be fine, but
it's still good.
I have to say it's a very enjoyable program.
Right. How long are the episodes?
An hour, right? 45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes.
I want to find, I need like a good 20, 30 minute tops show.
Star Trek Lower Decks is good.
All right.
And it's in like the Ted Lasso vibe of like, it's just happy and positive and funny. And
All right.
It's not going to like bring you down.
Perfect.
It's a good thing to watch before bed. I've been watching those after the Dahmer show before bed.
A cool down episode. Yeah,
I was getting nightmares the other night. I had a terrible fucking dream. It's like, God damn it. It's like I just watched like fucking 4 episodes of the Dahmer show. That was a mistake before bed.
It's a bad time, man.
Yeah.
I gotta, Tim, do you need a welfare check or something? I'm not understanding why Law and Order wasn't your recommendation.
I've turned over a new leaf, Bill, and I've reconsidered my love of Law and Order. And I think, in fact, I'm a CSI man now.
I'll call a welfare check. I'm gonna call a welfare check. Yeah.
I don't know. Tim's still getting his special victim unit fixing. Watch this Dahmer show.
Oh God! I'll tell you what.
That's all it is. It's special victims.
It's kind of interesting how SVU isn't that much less gruesome than the Dahmer show.
No.
Are you saying this man tried to entrap a bunch of women and then he fucking did a bunch of weird shit to them? That's crazy.
So you telling me that this man wants to make a zombie sex slave by drilling holes into his head and pouring acid into his brain? Yes, Ice-T. That is what Jeffrey Dahmer did. That's
the affidavit I read to you.
That's actually something he did. He drilled holes into someone's head and poured acid into it.
Yep. And they walked out of the house. The cops picked the guy up. Dahmer came over and said, "Oh, he's just my gay boyfriend." The cops went, "Ooh," and they just let him go. And Dahmer killed and ate him.
Oh, no.
And there's like 10 witnesses at that house at the project building that night being like, "We fucking told you this kid was not okay." And the worst part of it is that Dahmer raped his younger brother and was a pedophile, like a registered pedophile, because of that reason. And the cops didn't even get his information. They did nothing.
In fairness to the police officers, the two were brown and gay.
Yep.
So
that's how he got away with so many of those murders. It's because he was killing gay people in the ghetto, and police don't give a shit about those people.
So there you go.
This sounds like a show I don't want to watch. I like to pretend that reality is not quite as awful as it is.
Yeah, watch Lower Decks, Bill. It's off planet.
Cool. That's my vibe.
It's created by one of the Rick and Morty people. It's funny.
I'm in. Let's do it.
There we go. Same animators too.
Sweet.
Yep. Do that. Do the
Bill,
boys
what happened to your arm?
Yeah, I wanted to ask this the whole time.
I figured that you guys talked about it when I couldn't log in earlier.
Right?
I assume this is child related.
My child painted my arms.
Okay.
Okay. You sure you didn't just get all up in there and She-Hulk? Just elbow deep?
This is a lion, and this is a robot.
Okay. Sure.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I see the Mother Mary in there.
Someday you have to tell your children that they're wrong. Someday. Not saying right now.
No. Probably you don't understand. I was told that's what these were. I ridiculed my child relentlessly.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, you gotta make sure keep it realistic.
Fran and Walter know their place now. Don't let your ambition or your dreams.
You're a dull boy, Francis.
How about this, Fran? If you have to tell me what it is, it sucks. All right.
Yeah. What are you, an idiot? I should be able to understand this. Rationally.
Oh yeah, this is horsey. I just see a bunch of fucking shit.
You know? Good job, you dummy. I love you.
All right, Picasso.
I love you forever. Love you forever.
No, Preble. Also,
God, don't talk.
You got to work on that. No, those are the things you would never say.
Earn my love.
Man, it's just that's
take a 10-mile.
Look,
walk,
I'm not trying to set them on a journey that's impossible to achieve. You know, I mean, that's just not going to happen. Let's be realistic.
Oh,
Tim is
it's more kind than Paul Dooley ever was.
Tim's eyes are darting left and right. I think Tim's getting some trauma here. He's getting some rehashed memories coming up.
Oh God, Mr. Dooley.
I wanted to be an artist.
Mow the lawn. Get out there.
Where are your jorts?
Exactly. Where's your Aquanet and your jorts?
All right, well, that's the show. Rate and review. Redbubble.
People are going to love this. I got to tell you this. They are going to fucking love this.
I'm going to have to start telling people at the top of the show, if they give us a review, they'll get a free Redbubble sticker. That's what I need to do.
Nice.
I have a bunch of them. Look, got a whole fucking envelope full of them right here.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah,
I am Max. I have Hold My Popcorn stickers on on some of my fishing gear.
Ooh.
And I'll be fishing the Derby this weekend, and I'll have stickers, and I'll be passing them out.
I love it, Tim.
They'll be like, "Is this fishing related?" And I'll say, "Sure."
Yep.
We've talked about
it on the fish.
Yeah.
We covered the perfect storm.
Yep.
Did you listen to that episode?
Perfect storm.
All right.
Alrighty.
I desperately need to pee. So.